first time mom, you honestly don't know what anything feels like. My water broke at 5 a.m. and I gave birth to her at 8:31. Hello everyone, my name is Marlena and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a quite emotional one. It's a event that really touches my heart. It's about the day that I gave birth to my daughter Maya. It is a crazy ride, so please grab a drink, grab a snack, because we're gonna tell you, well, I'm going to tell you what happened on this crazy day. So to preface this, I just want to say that I'm not a medical professional. I'm not here to tell you any medical expertise or anything. I'm just here to tell you my experience, because when I was pregnant, this is what I did on YouTube. I used to watch all the labor and delivery videos that I could, just so I could be more knowledgeable or feel more comfortable at what's going to happen to me. And let me tell you, what I thought was going to happen to me did not actually happen. So if you want to find out what happened, please stick around. So let me just preface this that I did not enjoy pregnancy at all. Like, don't get me wrong, I was very blessed to be pregnant. I was very lucky to be pregnant, because I know there's a lot of people that, unfortunately can't. So I do feel like I was blessed. But pregnancy is not a wonderful experience for everyone.
Pregnancy sucks.
I hated it. I gained like 70 pounds while I was pregnant. I had horrible cystic acne, so no, I was not glowing. The first 16 weeks, I was throwing up all the time. I had a lot of pain, ligament pain. I couldn't basically walk long distances. Then you have to go to the bathroom all the time by the end. I had insomnia since 20 weeks. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I am a person that usually love to eat, but the eating thing, it's not like I even ate a large amount, but everything I breathe, I just even when I was very nauseous and throwing up all the time, I just gained everything, and my stomach was huge. And since I would say the late 20 weekish, early 30 weeks, I would say, every time I would go to an appointment, the doctor would always say that my stomach is measuring big. So they started giving me ultrasounds every appointment. So that was every 2 weeks, I believe. The baby was measuring huge. If I have a screenshot, I'm gonna put it here, but the head was I think everything was in the 90 to 100 percentile, anywhere in between that. Especially her head was just huge. And it's still huge today, so nothing has changed. But I think the baby's trying to break in here, but I'm filming this video for you guys. What ended up happening is that I had a lot of water, and like I said, I was just really big. And they usually say first time moms are not that big in the beginning, but I'm gonna put a picture, okay? My stomach was gigantic. And I'm not that tall, I'm 5'4", so it was just a lot of weight to carry around. It was just a lot, and my feet were killing me all the time by the end, which is obviously normal for pregnancy. But basically what happened is that towards the end of the pregnancy, my OB told me that the baby is posterior, okay? So for those of you that I guess don't know, and I'm not a medical professional, I guess a baby is supposed to be the face is supposed to be up when they're about to deliver, and when they're head down, it's called you can get back labor, which is really, really painful. So me, I was just so scared. I did not want to have back labor because I heard horrendous things about it, okay? So what I did was I found all these exercises on YouTube, and I heard about spinning babies, which is I guess some type of exercises that you do so maybe the baby can, be in the correct position when you deliver. So I did all those exercises, and towards the end of pregnancy, I just walked a lot. I read about the dates thing, so I started eating dates, but I didn't eat a lot. I drank raspberry tea. I think I asked my OB, so please, if you're gonna do any of these things, please consult a doctor first. I'm not here to tell you what you should be doing. But that's what happened, right? So I did all those exercises. I tried to do my best. I walked every day, and my husband walked with me because he was like scared something's gonna happen and then I won't be able to call for help, because at that point I was just walking very slow. I was like a duck, like waddle, waddle, waddle. When I was 37 weeks, okay, on that Sunday, so on Thursday I turned 37 weeks. On that Sunday, we went to grocery shopping and I started to feel like this weird pain. And when you're a first time mom, you honestly don't know what anything feels like. Maybe it was like Braxton Hicks or something, right? But I honestly felt like it was like a mild contraction, right? And it's kind of weird because when I was about, I don't know, like I was 35 weeks or 34 weeks, I had really high blood pressure. So I went to the hospital and they put me up to a machine and everything was fine. And my blood pressure ended up going down. But the doctor was telling me that I'm contracting and I didn't feel any pain at all. So that was like kind of weird, right? But at that Sunday, so I was 37 weeks, and I felt this like weird pain, and I thought, oh, like, what is going on? And so I was like, okay, like, they were like, they would happen every like 30 minutes, every couple hours. So I thought maybe it's like Braxton Hicks, right? But on Monday, like the next day, I had my appointment because we're always on Mondays. So I was like telling her like what I've been feeling and everything, right? And she's like, oh, like if you want to check, if you want me to check your dilation, I can, but it doesn't really mean anything. I mean, it doesn't really indicate that you're in labor or anything, or that you're close to labor or anything, but I was curious, so I wanted it, right? So I was like, oh my God, like, let's see what's going on, right? So she told me I'm 2 centimeters. Okay, so 2 centimeters, it could mean a lot, it could mean nothing, it could be just nothing. So I wasn't really concerned, right? And then so this is Monday, we go forward on Thursday, and I wake up in the morning because at that point, when you're that far along pregnant, so Thursday I was 38 weeks, officially 38 weeks pregnant. I wake up, okay, and I go to the bathroom because at that point you're just waking up every 5 minutes to go to the bathroom. That's how, like, the bladder is just constantly working, okay? So I go to the bathroom and I go to use the bathroom and I hear this, like, I sit down and I feel this like pop, like in the toilet. And I'm like, wait, this is weird. And I didn't feel anything coming out. So I was like, wait, didn't my water just break? But there's no water coming out. Like, what is going on? So it's 5 in the morning. I call my mom because obviously she had her water broken before. I mean, her water broke before. So I was like, Mom, is my water broken? Because there's nothing coming out. Like, there's nothing coming out. I just peed. Like, that's it. And she's like, you need to go to the hospital. Like, what are you doing? And at this point, my husband was sleeping in the living room on the air mattress, okay? Because I was just so uncomfortable. And he woke up because I'm calling my mom. He's like, let's go to the hospital. And I'm like, and then I stand up. I mean, when I stood up, like the water like was just trickling slowly. And like from movies, like they make it seem like when your water breaks, like it's just like a shower, like it's like there's like so much stuff coming out of you. Guess what? It's not like that. It's just like little drops. But then I was like, listen, I can't go to the hospital like this. I need to take a shower. I'm telling my husband, right? So I'm like, yes, I need to go take a shower. So I go into the shower, and guys, when I go to take a shower, I don't know if it was the warm water or something, but I feel everything coming out. Like the water was just like flowing. And the contractions start. And when I was pregnant, they told you, girl, listen, when you are gonna start your contractions, you're gonna know. So don't worry. If you feel any pain, like, you're gonna know. Like, trust me, you will know. And I am telling you right now, when you actually start contracting, you will know, because the pain is unlike any other. You will never feel this pain in your life, and you will feel bad. And they also teach you in courses that you're supposed to time your contractions. Hey guys, my contractions, like, they never were like certain minutes apart. They were always on top of one another. Like, I would never get a breath. I was taking a shower. I was like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And my husband went to get the car so I can go down, right? Guys, let me tell you, we were on the way to the hospital was like 15 minutes away. So this is like, I don't know, around 5:40 that we left the house, okay? So I am there trying to be a good pregnant woman, timing my contractions. And there you can't even, there was not even a space between the contractions. They were like on top of one another. And they would last like more like a minute or so. Like, and there would just be another one, another one, another one. Like, it would just not end. So I'm like, listen, we need to get to the hospital. And we get to the hospital. So my husband parks in front of the hospital. And he's like, my wife needs a wheelchair. And guys, I used to work in the hospital, but I've never actually been in a wheelchair myself. So it was just kind of weird. But I sat in the wheelchair, and it's kind of like a weird moment when you actually like have been like wheeled patients on a wheelchair, but then you're actually in the wheelchair yourself. It is like really surreal. And we go up the elevator, we go to the room, and the lady, the nurse and everything, we signed in and everything, and I'm still having the contractions like nonstop, okay? And the nurse is like, okay, like, calm, like, she gave me like a gown, and as I'm taking off my clothes, the water just keeps flowing and flowing. And this is just like a little TMI, but if you're not like, this grosses you out, then this is not a video for you, okay? Because this is pregnancy and labor in its finest, okay? So I'm there and I put on my gown and everything is just wet. Like, my leggings, like maternity leggings, were just all wet, everything. And the nurse comes in, she's like, listen, you're in a lot of pain. I'm gonna just check you, okay? So she checked my dilation and I was at 4 centimeters. So here we are. At Monday, I was 2 centimeters. Now we're 4 centimeters and it's around like 6 a.m., okay? And she goes, like, since I'm a first time mom, she doesn't think like she thinks it's gonna take a while, but you know, we're gonna keep you in the hospital because you seem like you're in a lot of pain. And I'm like, yeah. So in the beginning, I thought like, I'm gonna try not to get medication for anything, right? But at that point, I was just like, I was holding on to the bed, guys. Like, and in labor courses, they tell you like, oh, bring a ball with you, like jump and stuff. I was not about to, like, I couldn't even move. Like, any movement would just cause me more pain, like even my finger. That's how like I felt. Like, I was just grabbing on to the hospital bed because it was just so painful. Like, it's a pain unlike any other. Like, I can't even describe it. You know, it like feels like your whole uterus is like getting ready to push this baby out. And it's just like, I can't even describe it. You just have to feel it for yourself if you want to, right? So then the nurse goes like, listen, because there was like a change of shift, because I think at 7 they changed shifts. I read that it's gonna take like 14, 15 hours. That's like the average time of a woman, first time mom giving, you know, in labor. And I was like, listen, if this is go on for 14 hours, I can't take it. Like, you need to give me the, like, I want the epidural. But in order to give me the epidural, they have to, at that point, they had to give me a COVID test. This is 2022. So this is February 10th, 2022, okay? And they were like, we need to do a COVID test first, and then we have to give you fluids. So that's what the nurse did, right? And it took forever. It took forever. Like, I'm not even like joking. And I'm telling her, like, this whole time, like, this is like crossing to 7 a.m. I'm telling her that I'm really, like, I feel like I have to push. And she's like, what? What do you mean you have to push? And she checked my dilation again, and I was 6 centimeters. Okay? So I went from 4 centimeters when I got there to 6 centimeters at 7 a.m. Okay? So I'm sitting there going like, what is going on? I feel like I have to push. So this nurse is like, no, don't push, because you're gonna like injure your cervix, because like you're not dilated enough. And I swear, like, you get this innate feeling that you just have to push, and I just couldn't. And they're like, and there was like a nursing student with the nurse, and she's like, You have to blow like you're blowing out a candle, like, and I'm like trying to do that, and I kept apologizing, but it's like it's not my fault. I really just have to push. Like I can't help it. It's like involuntary, right? And they're like, and then all of a sudden, I would say around like 7:40 or yes, around 7:40, the or 7:45. I'm just like estimating. The anesthesiologist comes to give me the epidural. Okay. So that's like from 6 a.m. So yes, it did take a while for everything to, they have to check your platelets and whatever else, right? So the anesthesiologist comes and I sit, right? Well, before they gave me the epidural, they gave me another medicine. I think it was fentanyl because the nurse told me I didn't want to do it, right? Because it can cross the baby's placenta. But the nurse was like, "Listen, like you look like you're in a lot of pain. Like this is just gonna ease you into it, right?" And I was scared. It's not like I wanted the medicine for the pain itself, but I was scared that if they give me the epidural, I won't be able to sit still. That was my concern. And if they're gonna poke the needle in a bad place, like that's what I was scared about. So that's what they gave me. But to be honest, I didn't feel any pain relief at all. Like there was nothing. I just felt like a little more dizzy. That's about it, right? Anesthesiologist comes around 7:45. I had to sit on the actual bed and they like basically are behind you and they're trying to put the needle in your back, right? So the anesthesiologist was poking me so much, they couldn't get it. And it was like so hard. It took them like 40 minutes to put it in, like 45, just to put the epidural. And they kept sticking me. They kept telling me to like bend certain way. And it was just not easy, especially with the contractions. Like, and they were all one on top of the other. Like I had no break whatsoever, right? And so after the anesthesiologist comes in, I go to lay down in the bed. And this is like around like 8:15 maybe 8:20 because it took forever. And I lay down and I'm looking the nurse because at that point there was like two nurses in there or three nurses. And I'm telling them like, listen, this baby is coming out now. I don't like know how dilated I am, but this baby, I'm pushing this baby out. Like I really have the urge to push. She's like, wait. Another nurse comes and she checks me for dilation, right? And she goes, "You're at 10 centimeters." And they were all like freaked out. They were like thinking that it's gonna take me forever to push like this is gonna be a long labor, like it's gonna be peaceful, right? No, they're like, "Let's go get the doctor. We have to go get the doctor." Basically, they were just like, "We need to get the doctor now. Now, like the baby is coming out, the head is right there, it's crowning. We need to go. Like, let's go get the doctor. Like, somebody's gonna have to catch this baby." And I'm like, "Listen, this baby's coming out. Like, I don't know what is going on, but like, I can't blow the candle out anymore, okay? Like, this baby is coming out. This baby's coming out." So I think that the doctor came in like 5 minutes and he's like getting into the room and he was like mad at the nurse because she was just like kind of clueless or whatever about what's going on and stuff. And I was at 10 centimeters. The other nurse said I'm 9.5, like this, and the doctor's like, boom, boom, boom. He put on his gown, he goes in, and he's like, "Listen, we got this under control." He was the only one, the male doctor, he was seriously, the only one that was in control of the situation. He was like, "Let's go, we gotta get this ready, this baby's coming, like, don't you worry, mom, you go and I'm gonna tell you when you're gonna have to push, okay?" And that's what happened. So I was like, yes! This baby's coming out. I'm in so much pain. Like, get this baby out. So at this point, like the epidural, like they put it in right away, but I didn't get any effects. Like it was not, I didn't even feel any pain relief. So because it didn't even get a start to, like, it didn't even get a, time to start because it takes a little bit, right? I didn't feel any relief. So the doctor's coming, he's like, "Okay, your contraction, okay, you can push it out." So I push, so I'm thinking this is gonna take 2 hours to push this baby out because that's what I've read, right? And guys, I pushed this baby out once and my husband was like standing on the left of me, right? Like holding my hand and stuff. And he's like, "What is this black stuff?" Like, what? He's like asking the doctor, "What's that black stuff over there?" And the doctor goes, "That's the hair." And I was like, oh my God. So I'm so exhausted. I'm so much pain. And I'm like, oh my God, the hair, you can see the hair already. And the only thing I regret is that I wanted them to show me the mirror, like show a mirror so I can see what's going on. But at that point, like I just was like so out of it. I didn't even think about it. But my husband was like, what? That's the hair? Like you guys should have seen his face. I still laugh at this point because it was so funny. Like he couldn't believe it. That's her head of hair. So much hair. And I go and the second contraction, I push again, like once, and the head is out. The head was out. And that's like 2 pushes. So if my contractions were like one on top of the other, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 1 minute, and the head is already out. And the doctor's like, okay, like you go push again, and the whole body came out. And we go, and we hear the cry, guys. And it was so amazing to see my baby. I can't even describe this moment. I mean, they took her out and they put her on my chest right away with the umbilical cord, and she was so cute. She had so much hair and she was like, dirty and whatever, but I didn't care. Like, she was right on my chest and she was just so cute with her eyes closed, and she was just so cute and a little like purple, they don't come out like, not purple, but like this, they have like a different coloring, right? They're not like their actual color. And they're also very dirty, so I honestly didn't care. She just sat right on my chest and she was so cute. Then the nurse had to take her to put the eye drops or something and weigh her and stuff. But she was just so like, that moment where she's like laying on my chest and my husband's like looking at her like amazed that she's actually out. I'm gonna try to put a video of that moment because I have some, but it was just so cute. I can't even say cute enough. But then I was able to breastfeed her, and I can't even like, they had to deliver the placenta and everything. I can't say not good things about the doctor. He was just so fast, so thorough. He's like, listen, I'm gonna give you some, like anesthetic so you don't feel anything. But I got like, I think it was 2nd-degree tear on, down there. So he had to like stitch me up. But I honestly didn't feel anything. You get so much like, I guess like a euphoric feeling, and like all the other like stuff that's like released when you're, I guess the oxytocin and everything. I didn't feel a thing. And I felt so much better like when she came out. Like it amazed me how much pain relief you get. Like you don't feel anything. Like it's like you feel like the baby's not there anymore. You don't feel the pain in your back. You don't feel the pain, anything, no contractions, no nothing. You feel amazing. If you can do it the natural way, right? And guys, that's the one thing I'm really thankful for, because I know that a lot of like moms don't get to do that. But the fact that I was able to take her and put her on my chest and start breastfeeding right away, that moment was just like amazing. The fact that I'm there and I'm able to give her food, like I'm truly her mom. It's just kind of like, it's like a snap of your finger and you're like, wow, like, wow, I am truly a mom at this moment. And it was just amazing. The only thing that happened after I gave birth, like everything was perfect. I honestly felt 100 times better after I gave birth than in pregnancy in general. It was just so amazing. I was so done with pregnancy. I was able to eat and everything. And the only thing, I had this horrible headache, and it was just so bad. I thought it was like after the emotions of everything. And then every time I told the nurses, they were just like, okay, we're gonna give you Tylenol and we're gonna give you Tylenol and stuff like that. They gave me like pain medication because I also had a tear, but it wouldn't go away. The nurse of the next day, she like told me like, do you feel better when you lay down like flat? And I tried to do that, and I lay down flat and I say, I don't feel anything anymore. And she's like, it doesn't happen too often, but some women get like this, like a tension headache from getting the spinal from the epidural or any other anesthetic in your back. Then the doctor came and he told me that basically when they put a needle inside, sometimes they can, I guess, puncture somewhere and it leaves a hole, and there's like fluid that comes out of the hole and it causes pain in your head. And what they can do is like seal it with your blood, or you can let it seal naturally. But the headache was just really bad. Like, honestly, I was just so mad because one, I got the epidural to relieve some of my pain, but I didn't get any pain relief. And then I get this headache, which is not a big deal, but I was breastfeeding. So you have to sit up. I mean, you have to sit up. And that just like, I was like, what? It was just really bad because in the beginning, I'm very thankful that my husband like helped me a lot because I couldn't move. Like I would just lay in bed flat whenever I wasn't breastfeeding, because in the beginning you're like breastfeeding all the time. But if I wasn't eating or breastfeeding, I was laying down flat because the headache in the beginning was just so bad. That's it. I mean, that is the most beautiful day of my life. You read all these things that happen to most women, but that's not necessarily what can happen to you. And when I told my family like about everything that happened, my dad was just like, you need to like just make babies all the time if that's how your labor is gonna be, because my water broke at 5 a.m. and I gave birth to her at 8:31. Okay. So that is some fast dilation, and I guess that's why I couldn't like move. I mean, I don't know if the progression was just so fast, and I honestly don't know if all the exercises I did helped, or walking. I assume that they did because I mean that's pretty amazing, but I was just so happy to get to see her and have her in my arms that it was just really emotional.
Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours.
And I was really happy about my labor experience in general. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please like and subscribe if you liked it so you can see more videos like this. Thank you so much and have a good day.